Welcome to day 78 of the Seeker's Guide to Soul Contact. Hope you're enjoying the classes so far. If you are, give us a like and subscribe to us. And you can find the past classes also at our website at freeread.com. The theme for today is Understanding Divine Will. Your last seed thought was to ask yourself this question: how much of the will of God do I know? I told you that you have a knowledge of portions of the will of God and should be able to name them. Some did not believe this, thinking that obtaining the will of God is beyond their grasp. But discovering many elements of divine will is not beyond your reach, for you are an extension of divinity yourself. Many have merely forgotten who they are. That said, I will list a number of things that are in harmony with divine will, of which I'm sure you will agree. 1, love your neighbor as yourself. This was said by Jesus, who was indeed close to God, and most people, even non-Christians and atheists, agree with this basic idea. Do you not think this precept is in harmony with the will of God? Our spiritual senses say yes. Another one is do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Do you not suppose that God's will is to follow this principle? 3, apply the principle of forgiveness to the best of your ability. Again, our spiritual senses agree that this would be in harmony with divine will. 4, have faith that a dominating good will prevail. Does it not make sense that the will of God is guiding all things toward a good end? 5, the 10 Commandments. These are said to be written by the finger of God, but most of them are accepted by the masses. Of course, it would seem that the will of God is against stealing, lying, murder, and other basic evils. So you see, you do know quite a few things that are in alignment with the will of God. It is God's will that we have our free agency. We are given this, even though it creates a lot of problems. Many of them even blamed upon God. As extensions of God, we have within us all the creative powers of God. Because we have our agency, we can use those powers to create any kind of world we want, good or bad. We collectively have created this world using our godly powers given us. It is not the Father's will that we cause each other pain and grief in this world, but it is a top priority that we have free will so we can learn from our mistakes. Therefore, we have manifested an imperfect world where many negative things happen that would not transpire if we had no freedom. The wise parent allows his child to go out and play, knowing that he will get some bumps and bruises, but will learn from them. The caring parent would never directly hurt the child, yet because a child must have freedom to learn, one must expect some discomfort in the process. From one way of looking at it then, your will, no matter what it is the will of God, because the use of your will is the use of the powers of godliness that God has granted for us to employ. It is His will that we learn from our bad decisions and eventually bring all of our decisions in harmony with the originating unity, which is God. Everything that happens, good and bad, is allowed by divine will, so a greater good will be the end result of creation. On the other hand, when harmony with divine will is spoken of by teachers, there is speaking of steps that take us toward the dominating good, not away from it. For instance, you may be presented with the choice to marry either person A or person B. Person A is the much better choice, the one you selected before you were born. But divine will gives you the freedom to make a mistake and marry person B. If you marry person B, you're going along with divine will as far as using your freedom, but your actual choice is not in harmony with it. Thus, when we speak of being in harmony with the will of God, we speak of decisions which are in alignment. The seeker must value his free will, but he must also value the quality of his decisions and seek those decisions which will assist all forces toward a positive end. Many people who are not aware of what soul contact is have sensed guidance from within in making decisions in life. Decision points are great guideposts directing us toward true inner contact. Okay, we've expanded the seed thought on will. Even so, there is much more that could be said, but let us move on. Let us repeat the third stanza of the great invocation. From the center where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of men, the purpose which the masters know and serve. We have covered the first line. Let us move on to the second and third. Notice that will is emphasized in the first line and purpose thereafter. Contemplate these questions. What is the difference between will and purpose? Why are we told we have little wills? What is the purpose that the masters know and serve? Finish with this affirmation. My will and God's will are one. Good things to think about, and we will see you tomorrow.